Okay, we're down to some of the final last fixes on Mr. Land Cruiser here. The front axle, last time we went down to Moab, was not turning quite so well, so I think the CVs are done. They were popping a lot, steering got really hard, and I had shut off the locker on the front, but it's been leaking lots of fluid, or grease, I guess we could say, out of the motor. BMW right here. This is my favorite car, only car I actually own right now. And in here we have all the supplies we need. Tools, we've got new CV joints, Tamer X, and then a full seal and bearing kit, full rebuild kit for the front axle. And then we have fluid, we have rags, and we've got all the greases that you could need. And then we have a leaky Land Cruiser right here. Right there. Nastiness right there. Very gross. And it's even leaking out of the top of the axle here, I think. That's disgusting. And it's also leaking. So I'm gonna tear apart one side on camera to show you how it goes. And I'm not gonna waste my time showing you on the second side, because if you don't get it on the first side, that's just too bad. You can rewind the video. I don't need to rewind my life. It's gonna take way too long as it is anyway. So first thing we're gonna have to do is take off our new wheels and tires. Ooh. Well, I guess you'll see those before I release this video anyway, so no big deal. All right, let's start taking off the wheels and tires and get going. I'm gonna have to change my clothes too. I don't want to ruin my new t-shirt. And I'm gonna put my coveys on. So, time to bust a rhyme, bust some workout. Here we go. All right, we're gonna start on the driver's side first. I've got to pull off the wheel cover and then pull off the other stuff associated with that. So, let's pop this off first. There's just two on here. Find them. All right, while I've got it lowered down here, I'm just going to take the wheel off at a nicer level for less back pain here. All right, take the wheel off now. See if we can break our back. These are probably pretty heavy. Should probably just lower it down more. All right, not too horrible. She's off. All right, we got the wheels and tires off the front. We're gonna go ahead and lift it up now so it's easier to reach and work on stuff. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna start by doing is taking off the ABS sensor, the brake caliper. Then we're gonna break apart this hub so we can get inside here and start loosening up the bearings and the lock ring and the nuts and bolts, or nuts that are inside there. And then we need to take off this tie rod end. And then there's 4 bolts down here that hold the trunnion bearing. I don't remember what Toyota calls that stupid thing. You gotta break all those loose to get this hub off. There's also a bunch of bolts around the back side of this seal that need to come off. Get yourself some gloves unless you like really disgusting hands. So first thing I'm going to do is start by getting some of this stuff up here unplugged. And first thing I can do right now is unplug the ABS sensor. Done. Now I just got to unbolt it from the caliper, or from here, whatever. So let's do that next. Okay, so to take this apart, you're going to need the Toyota standard sizes of sockets and wrenches, which are 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm not a Toyota guy. I know German cars and I know Land Rovers really well, so once I delve into this, we'll know what sizes, I'll tell you. Anyway, let's start by tearing off the hub cover, the brakes, and the external stuff I can get to here, and then we'll start tearing in this way to get this rotor off and everything. If you want to make your life a lot easier, get yourself a good set of cordless tools. I use Milwaukee. I love their stuff. It works very well. It might not be Snap-on grade, but I'm not going to pay Snap-on prices. This is my favorite tool. Works great. Lots of torque. So we'll start off on the ABS sensor bracket that holds the sensor onto the axle, the wiring. All right, just let that dangle. With that unbolted, now there's a bolt that holds the sensor in place that you need to pull out. That's also 12 millimeters. Okay, and I'm gonna put these in my little pans I have these two pans for holding bolts. Get yourself either magnetic trays, maybe some sacks, some Ziploc sacks, or just something to keep your bolts organized and easy to find and put back together. Yeah, see if we can free this little sensor out of here. Hopefully it's not stuck. Just pop out of there. Okay. That's our first ABS sensor. I am getting its ABS sensor error. ABS error on my dash. So there's a bunch of material on there. I don't know if you can see that. These things are magnetic, so it raises the pulses in that are on the axle. There's a keyed ring around there. So before you put all this crap back in, clean it up. You'll probably start working again. All right, got that out. I'm going to leave the brake line connected. I'm just going to take off the bolts holding the brake caliper on, which I should say is already disconnected in one spot. Well, not very tight. So let's hit those and take those off. All right, I took the nut off the tie rod end and took the caliper off. I just rotated it around the shock, had enough length to just sit on the axle there. Now I'm gonna take my hammer here. I call this one Thor. Thor likes to hit things really hard. We're just gonna hit the arm of the steering arm right here, and the tie rod end should pop out. We'll just see what happens here. Right? Don't need any fancy tools for that. Once you can hit it solidly. Oh man, this thing's a mess. This is probably gonna be part one. I ripped the axle apart, and then part two is gonna be, I spend 3 days cleaning crap up. Part 4 will be reassembly. Part 3 will be cleaning as well. So, all right, we got our steering arm off, our tie rod end. You can see this has got some funky, they're very smooth. It's like it pops. See that? That's weird. We grab a screwdriver. I'm just going to scrape some of the crud off here, and then we'll get to pulling the hub off and the rest of the stuff here. I'll probably take these seals off as well during the time lapse. So I'll take these seals off the back and bolt everything back here, pull on back here, and then we'll get into the next parts. Ooh. The bad thing about these cheap ass latex gloves, look, my thumb's already out. Ugh. It's hot in here. It's fall, October, it should be snowing. Okay, it'll probably snow Sunday or Saturday. So we're at the point now, we've got our seal thing back here unbolted. The next step I'm going to take is I got to get this little snap ring off here. I forgot my pliers for that, so I'm going to try and do that with a screwdriver. There we go. Make your old man gut work for you. Sweet. All right, let's pop these babies off next. Or since it's a Toyota, it's probably a 13. Let's try a 13. Nothing makes sense in Toyota land. So you need to take all these nuts and washers off first. So just a little info. I only know how to do this because I had a 1985 Toyota pickup about 20 some years ago, about 20 years ago I guess, and it was the same way. Burfs were leaking, or it was just leaking out everywhere. So this is not that hard of a thing to do. I'm only adding one extra step in here because I'm putting brand new Birfields in it. Or CVs as you Aussies like to call them. All right, grab yourself a little hammer here. Now you got these little cones that are holding this thing in. And sometimes it can be a major pain to get out. Like they are right now. I'm gonna grab a chisel. If I can't help persuade them a little ways. There we go. Yeah, chisel will work too. All right, we'll go to time lapse. We're gonna go ahead and get these cones off. We're gonna get this hub off, and then we're gonna start taking out the lock ring and the washers and the nuts that hold that on.
Later.
Okay. Next thing we got to do is there are some lock ring things here, and they're a little loose. We got these little capture rings here. This is like a lock ring, so there's little capture, I guess, tangs or tabs that you bend over to keep this nut from backing off. So first thing we're going to do is knock those back. I'm just going to use flat-headed punch and a hammer to get those back. So just hit them like this. This guy was serious about locking in the front one but not the back one. So somebody's been in here before and did not do it up to Toyota code. I'm no Toyota expert, but that's not a code. Okay, so if you don't have the hub tool, I'll show you. I don't have a hub tool for this vehicle, and I'm not going to buy one because I don't work on these all the time and don't want to. So just grab yourself a nice sharp chisel, get on the corner of where the bolt goes, and just tap it until it becomes free, and you can spin it off by hand. So there's that. There's one. That's your first one. And then you've got your lock ring right here. See if we can grab out the pair of pliers. My kit should have new ones. This thing has also got a little tab at the top here that goes right here. There's a little cutaway in the axles and the splines right here to screw that on. So, wow, this one behind here is loose as a goose as well. Take those off. Get that off. I'm not sure when this axle was last serviced. The bolts that hold the caliper on were also not tight, so no wonder why my braking felt a little weird today when I was driving it down the interstate. It's a miracle. Miracle I haven't died in vehicles yet. Other people's vehicles. Okay, now there's another washer behind that bearing. So I just wiggled that, popped it out. These bearings have 0 grease in them. Those are junk. So this is why you may want to buy yourself just a full axle kit. So let's chuck these. That wheel bearing's junk. I bet the races inside here are junk. Luckily, our new kit came with it. I'm going to kick my pan out just a little bit. I'm sure I'm going to have a mess everywhere. Wipe that off. This is why you want to buy a box of 200 shop towels, these blue towels, because you're going to be cleaning up a lot of mess. All right, so we're into the inner workings. Next thing we got to take off are these bolts that hold the splash shield, dust shield on here. I'm just going to take that off next. 14 does it. There we go. Okay, it's off. Disgusting. Okay, this ring comes off. And now you've got your brake splash guard there. Okay, and then I think all we gotta do is pull on this. Okay. Here's your stub nose. Here's your inner, so it's like a brass bushing that rides on the stub axle. Okay. Set that aside, we'll wash that later. Okay, next thing we're gonna do now is remove the steering arm right down here. There are cone washers in this as well. And then we can pull out the axle and clean that up. This thing's a mess. There's a seal right here that you can throw away. I need a friend with a parts washer. That's what I need. Okay, so that's dirty still. Okay, so once we get these out, don't worry about taking off this top bearing piece, because you'll just stick your new bearing up on top of there from the inside, so you don't need to undo that. All right, these are probably 17. I'm gonna hit that with my bigger impact. Oh, let's see what size. This is 17 here. Perfect, 17. Like I know what I'm doing here, but I don't. Pop those babies off. All right, we're free. This should, I guess I should try to take that off first. I gotta get the cone washer that again. So this one is definitely dead. This is probably the one that's been making a lot of noise. There's no grease left in here. There we go. So that's our shaft. The splines up here look like they're in good shape. No obvious signs of water or anything in that. I'm still gonna drain the oil out anyway. That shaft looks okay. And then I'll show you how to get these out later on. All we got left to do is take off the steering knuckle. So I'm going to use my hammer to hit on this a little bit. All right, so what we have left to do is pull that arm off. There's the arm. That's going to get cleaned up. Put that down. And then inside here we've got some bearings that are going to fall out. There you go. That's off. That's your knuckle. There's your bearing. That baby's shot. And then back there, we've got these rubbers. I think we actually need to keep the backing plate that holds everything in place. So keep that. These rubbers are shot. I think. Yeah. Do not throw away your half moon clips that hold that in. So there's our axle. The Birfield looks okay. There's no like major scoring, no major rust in there, so that's a good thing. Land Rover ones were made out of a little bit crappier material, but they just bolt onto the back here. They're not actually welded. So you can actually replace this cup every time you do your CV axles, which is probably something you should do on a Land Rover. And then we've got our races in here. So I'll show you how to knock those out. I really do hope this kit has all this stuff. I should really go through it first, but this is a complete kit. Alright. So grab a long punch, go down through here. There's a little keyway here. Just working a little bit of time. There we go. Don't hit your thumb. Don't swear. There we go, that one's out. You just gotta work the other top one from the bottom. There we go, start to move. More. Swish. Alright, that baby's free. Clean everything up real good. You can use some brake cleaner if you want. It's actually cleaning up really nicely. I'm not going to waste my time on brake cleaner right now. Okay, so we got to get to this inner seal now. It's definitely shot. I just pulled it apart with my finger. Holy crap. The spring went inside. All right, now I'm going to use I brought a pry bar for this. What do we got here? Let's try out this guy. Maybe this will be easy ticket. Oh, there we go. Just need something a little curved to fit in the hole better. There we go. Fake it till you make it. There we go. Okay, so that's the disassembly of the hub. We'll come back and do the assembly next. I'm going to tear down the other side first. The other side, you're going to have a drag link on and the tie rod end. So on the steering arm. So remember that. Remember what side goes on what. Keep yourself organized. Have most of the correct tools. If you don't, improvise. But be smart and don't break stuff. So I'm going to hop around to the other side and we'll come back and do the other side. Peace out. Oh, I can't wait for November to be over. I'm sick and tired of the emails about political parties. I just don't care right now. It's 2020 coronavirus year. Anyway, it's this side is now done. Passenger side is all stripped and taken apart. I gotta pull the racers out tomorrow. It'll take 2 minutes, so I don't care. And oil's just dribbling out of there. We do have all the parts on the ground. The second side didn't take too long, about 30 minutes to rip apart, since I already had the first side knowledge down of tools. And I wasn't trying to video it, so it took a lot less time. Anyway, so what was I going to say about this side that's different? Just your track bar basically is different. You got to take that off. And oh, this side was actually it actually still had all the grease in it, so I used about half of my box of paper towels down there on this thing. But it's wiped out and clean now. Definitely glad I had latex gloves because that was a mess. I gotta get a couple brake lines. The brake lines in the front are rotten. They're about just about ready to fall apart. So I ordered those from O'Reilly. Got 2 of those coming. They're the same for both sides, I guess. I need to find some cone washers. There's a guy down in Salt Lake. I'm gonna call in the morning and talk to him. I'm missing one of the big ones on the steering arm, and I was missing one in the the hub. So I'll get that coming. And then I think that's all I'm missing. The brake caliper bolts were loose on both sides, so good job, guy who worked on this before me. You could use a little Loctite, or you could try torquing them down at least a little bit more. I could have died. And then there were no cotter pins in these tie rod ends, so that's also a great thing. I'm glad that you could not put those back in. Very safe. The tie rod ends could probably be replaced. I think I might just order some. I'm going to keep it up on the lift for a few days. We don't really need the lift right now at the shop, so I'm going to commandeer it. Sorry, Nate. And we'll be back hopefully tomorrow and start reassembling. I'd like to have this together by Saturday, so it's a little bit of a push. It is, excuse me, Coke Zero burp. It's Wednesday night, so I should be able to get it back together as long as I can get all the pieces I need, which I should be able to, luckily. So, onward and upward. Peace out.